Thank you, thank you. So appreciate that, and yeah, that's great to be on here Monday morning here. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. I don't know where you guys are. Know all over the country, maybe even all over the world, right? People are on here, so appreciate everybody being on here this morning. Beautiful day here in Kansas City. I hope weather it's springtime, right? Love spring. I think there's two times in life I like, right? It's springtime, early spring, and then also I love, of course, fall too. But I love the weather. I love the change. It's a new season. Definitely, motivates me. Okay, we talk about motivational Monday, right? It definitely motivates me, and hope every one of you having a fantastic day, fantastic morning as we go into the week. Here we are, what, May 11th already. Okay, it's just like the month is like clicks off, right? But super excited sharing a little bit with you a few concepts today. Okay, a few concepts, kind of get your mind right. Okay, get our business right, get our personal lives right. So just want to share with you, just really quick, been in Herbalife 27 years. If you don't know me, like I said, I live in Kansas City, Missouri. My wife Pam and I do the business together. Pam started it. I was skeptical. I was that skeptical husband. Used to be an airline mechanic. Okay, an airline mechanic. Man, am I glad I'm not an airline mechanic today, right? Probably wouldn't be very motivated this morning, right? I'm very excited if you're in the airline industry with what's going on around us right now. But definitely, Herbalife was a godsend to me. It was something that came my way at a fantastic time. I wasn't motivated at that time. I wasn't excited at that time in my life, and working a lot of hours, working midnight to 7:30. Pam was babysitting 4 kids, and it was just day. Life was just like a day. You know what I mean? It just wasn't excited. Didn't see a future. I remember telling Pam, she's like, "You're going to be working midnight to 7:30, never sleeping at home at nights." I go, "Babe, 20 years I'll have days. So just hunker down for 20 years and we'll get this thing done." You know what I mean? My dad had been there for 39 years. And so I watched my dad as I grew up. I just thought that's the way you did it. You know what I mean? Life was just, you know what I mean? You just got through life. You just got through the day. My goal was to pay the bills by the 31st. If I made the bills by the 31st, high five. And then we started on the first again, ran the same track every single month. And you can see why people aren't motivated. Okay. So today, when they asked me, they said, "Hey, Brad, can you do Motivational Monday?" I'm like, yes, I love this little stuff we do, right? Motivational Monday, Throwback Thursday, whatever the thing is we do. It's so great that we put a little tagline, beside it. But I thought, well, what is motivation? Maybe I should study motivation. If I'm going to talk about motivation Monday, okay, maybe I should know a little bit about it, right? Maybe I should know a little bit what motivation is. So I just pulled up, the definition, okay? Here's a definition that I pulled up. You Googled it, right? When you Google motivation, it says the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. In other words, give an example, right? An escape can be a strong motivation for travel, right? So the motivation to escape this life, or right now, don't we have that right now, guys? Don't we all have this motivation to travel? I mean, I remember I always say now, it's like, because sometimes I was Herbalife, I'm traveling a lot. I did a lot of STSs for people, LDWs, I travel, extravaganza travel, sometimes I travel, and like, traveling too much. Last summer we traveled 6 times. But man, escape is a motivation for me right now. So escape would be a motivation for travel, right? So that would be something, like I said, so that's what motivation. Okay, another definition. The general desire, and I want you to write down that word desire if you're taking notes. Write down the word desire, but the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. Okay, I'll give you an example of that, right? Freedom can be a motivator for you to go to war. When we have war, right, which is not the greatest thing in the world, it's not when I was 5 years old, say when I grow up, I want to go to war, right? But freedom would motivate me, would motivate us, the right of freedom to do that. That's the only reason we do that. So guys, sometimes I want to share with you guys what motivation is. Motivation is sometimes the end is not the means. In other words, war is not where I want to go, okay, but freedom is what I want. That's my motivation. And we're going to talk about in our business a lot of times what motivates me, because some people say, "Man, I'm just not motivated to recruit. I'm just not motivated to do invites." And it's like, well, war, I'm not, see what I'm saying? I'm not motivated for certain things in life, so I need to find your motivation so you'll do this. You follow me? It's a concept. And so people don't understand what motivation is. I do things, okay, because of a motivation. So I need to find your motivation. Sometimes you've heard us call it your why. Your why can motivate you to do things you would never do. Stay up late, get up early, Jim Rohn said. Because why? You're motivated. You're motivated. So it's so huge. Let me give you some words that kind of go with motivation. And I want to keep an eye on the clock here. And so, if you guys know me, I have a tendency to not get through what I'm going to talk about, right? So, motivation, right? Let me give you some words here, okay? Okay, motivation would be enthusiasm, drive. These would be words that are synonyms, right? Ambition, initiative, determination, enterprise, sense of purpose, the get up and go. These are words that sometimes you associate with the word motivation. What is motivation, right? So I'm going to go and run through 4 or 5 points here, okay, to get you guys really clear, okay, and kind of go through some stories and stuff that as I studied motivation and what it is and what drives us, okay? I mean, Herbalife is such an incredible company, and we have so many variables to it and so many things, okay? So sometimes it can be sometimes we can have so much that we just become tame. Okay, we don't do anything because we're just all over the place. Okay, I call it the monkey mind. You know what a monkey mind is? You ever seen a monkey all over the place, right? So I see sometimes my guys, they have monkey mind. They're like, Brad, I'm not motivated because they're all over the place, right? They got this monkey mind. It's the ability to calm down the mind. Okay, not have a monkey mind. Okay, and really calm it down. You know, guys, focus is such a powerful thing for motivation, right? I mean, I heard this great story, right? It talked about when you walk into if you've ever been to like a circus or something, when they have a lion, okay, or a tiger inside of a cage, right? And the guy walks in to the cage, right? And when he walks into the cage, he carries 3 things with him, right? He has a gun on his holster, okay, he has a whip, okay, and he has this 3-legged stool that he has. Now I get the gun and the whip. I'm really clear on that. If something went wrong inside with that tiger or lion in that cage, what in the world with 3-legged stool? Well, the 3-legged stool is the most important thing that he brings into the cage with him. You know why? If you take a three legs, right, 3-legged stool, and you put the 3-legged stool and you start twirling it to that lion, he starts trying to focus on all 3 legs. Anytime you take a very great hunter or anything and you defocus him, you're getting to focus on 3 things at once, he becomes tame. The lion becomes almost, you've seen a cat, right? You can do it to the cat. You can take a little tool and he'll just kind of like, and you got a tame cat. See, sometimes we are not motivated in a proper way. We got all this stuff going on, monkey mind, and then we're focused on all this stuff and we become tame. Non-motivated. See, a lion is non-motivated. When that happens, of course, we want that if I walk into a cage. I want the lion not motivated to attack me. See, guys, are you the tame lion? Because you got so many things going on in your life and you got a monkey mind and you got all this stuff and you can't even focus and you can't, Brad, I'm just not motivated. You just become lethargic. It's like I gave you medication. So let's talk about it, okay? Number 1 thing I want you to write down, right? Number 1. Okay, this comes from Napoleon Hill, and I'll give you a few books that I read if you guys want to do this kind of things. Of course, Think and Grow Rich is a huge book for me. It's a book I probably read at least once a year. Sometimes I'll read it twice a year. It's something I've been doing forever. Okay, and I've done studies of it. Me and Dan Waldron, we've done studies with it. Done studies with Rich Palmer and Larry Halsey and Mike Patterson. We've done studies on. By the way, everybody keep Mike Patterson in your prayers, and Mike and Cindy just want to keep you in our prayers. Just want to say that. And so there's some stuff going on in their lives. So it's like just wanted to throw a shout out to you, and you're in our prayers. But desire, right? So desire. So let's talk about desire. Napoleon Hill. He says desire. Remember, I told you to write down the word desire. He said desire is the starting point of all achievement. Not a hope, not a wish, but a keen, pulsating desire which transcends everything. That's from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. By the way, guys, you can download Think and Grow Rich in a PDF. It's chapter 2. What I'll do with the chapter, you guys heard me talk about As a Man Thinketh on the LDW call. What I'll do is I'll read a chapter every single day for 30 days, okay? I'll take desire. If I feel like I'm not motivated, I can't find my motivation, I'll read that chapter 2 of Think and Grow Rich. I'll read it for 30 straight days. And I'll get clear, because desire is the prelude to motivation. You have to have a desire. Mark Hughes used to teach us, you got to have a burning desire. It's got to be in the gut. He said, he used to tell us, like, when I get the man on the deal or the woman on the deal, right? It's something inside. That's why, guys, you can't judge people. You don't know what's inside of them. You don't know what their desire is. We bring that out, okay, especially in Herbalife. That desire is just keen. It's just burning inside of you, okay? And sometimes we're doing something else and we don't understand what's your desire, and then I'll recruit, then I'll do invites, then I'll do everything. I'm very motivated. I'll get out of bed at 6, I'll get out of bed at 5, I'll work out, I'll do this. See what I'm saying? That's desire. That's the birth of motivation. You guys understand? It's the birth of motivation, okay? You see, it's like, okay, Shakespeare said, all life is a stage. Okay, all life is a stage. Guys, we're on the stage. Prabhupada said, the problem with this, though, is that we're an extra in our own movie. And really think about that. We're an extra in our own movie. Okay, in other words, we got this movie. You guys watch a movie, right? And there's a star, right? There's a star. There's Tom Cruise, okay, or whoever the star is in this movie. Then you got a bunch of extras. He could be walking down the street and you got 40 people walking around him. Those are extras in a movie, aren't they? See, guys, sometimes we're the extra. No, you're the star. And everything else is an extra around you. See, once you understand you're the star, you're going to be doing some incredible things. You're going to be doing some incredible feats. You're going to be doing all these, flying from the roof and jumping off a helicopter and all this kind of stuff. Okay, you're the star. You're not an extra. Sometimes you guys look at like maybe us, like I'm your star, or see the top people, and I'm around Dan Waldron. He could be my star, and I'm just an extra in Dan Waldron's movie. Okay, no, I'm the star. Do you guys get that? I'm going to do incredible things. I got to have motivation to do that. So I go, what's my desire? What's inside of me? What's really driving me? Okay, so this is so good. Okay, okay. See, there's this great movie. If you guys, let me take a little drink here real quick. But okay, there's a movie called I Am Bold. Okay, it's a great thing. It's a documentary. Okay, great for you guys to go watch if you want to get motivated. Okay, it's Usain Bolt. You guys all know Usain Bolt won 9 gold medals. Okay, 9 gold medals. Won the 100 meters. He won the 200 meters, and then he run 4x100 relay. Okay, and he won 3 times, all 3 of those for 3 straight Olympics. 2008, 2012, 2016. Unbelievable feat. This movie goes what motivated him to do that. Guys, to be an Olympic athlete, that's why it's so hard to repeat as an Olympic athlete. To be an Olympic athlete, you got to go in 4 years of training. When you win the gold, which is the prize, right? Now you got to go, if you're going to go for the next Olympics, you got to go 4 more years because everybody else is going to be working out like crazy. What drives? So he's like, I had to figure out to get that desire because I won the gold in 3 events. How can I have that desire to do it again? And then he had the desire to do it again. It's an incredible, incredible feat. I'll read this little thing here to you guys really quick. I love this. Actually, I had it on one of my Instagram posts, but it says, Usain Bolt has won 9 gold medals in the last 3 Olympics, and he has run less than 2 minutes on the track. That's called economy of effort. Usain Bolt ran for less than 115 seconds in total in his 3 Olympics, and he made $119 million. That's more than $1 million for each second he ran. Because when he ran the 100, it was 9.59 seconds. The 200 was, 19 seconds. The 4x100, he only ran like 9 seconds. But for those 2 minutes, he trained for 20 plus years. That's called investment. So guys, when you look at your desire and what we're doing and what it makes happen, some of you guys are on the line here, you've maybe achieved. I mean, you're 15K, 20K, 30K. I don't know who's on this line. Maybe some of you guys 60K, 100K, 140K. We have them all, right? What's that desire in you? Now, you also got to go back to what was the investment? What was the investment of time? So sometimes we're like, I just don't know why I'm getting up to the next level. I don't know why I'm not motivated, Brad. It's like because you don't understand what investment is. You don't understand what it takes for a desire to go do something, to drive yourself. You know, one of the things in that movie, I Am Bold, if you go watch it, okay? I need to make sure I look here, so make sure my time is good, right? Okay, so one thing you look in this movie, I Am Bold, okay? In the movie, right? I Am Bold, okay? He talks about on his, after his second, he's going for his third Olympics. He just can't motivate himself. He can't get up because it's brutal to train, especially for a 100-meter run, 200-meter. This is like brutal training, and they shows the training in the documentary. But he's not motivated. He just can't get up. He don't want to train. You know, his trainer's calling him. It's like, hey, we got to get ready. The Olympics is getting closer and closer and closer. And you're talking about the best athletes in the world, and they want to beat you so bad they can taste it. So he's at home. He's watching TV, and TMZ comes on with an interview with Justin Gatlin. If you know Justin Gatlin, he was the American sprinter that was going to be the challenge. Everybody thought he was going to beat Usain Bolt in the 2016 Olympics. And he said, Justin Gatlin comes on there, TMZ is interviewing him, and he's like, of course, Usain Bolt is from Jamaica. Okay, and this is a guy from the United States. He said, we're going to bring the gold back to America. I'm going to, kick, what's Usain Bolt. And he went on this, and he said, the desire came in me like you won't even believe. I sat there and looked at that TV show, and this guy's telling me how he's going to kick my butt up and down this track. He said, I picked up that phone, I called my coach, and I literally trained till I puked every single day until that Olympic. Now, what desire, what challenge that? You got to look at yourself. What would get you to do that? So sometimes you got to find that motivation. It's just such a powerful, powerful movie and powerful story, okay? Okay, it's like, I remember, guys, when I was growing in my business, right, and Pam had started, and we started, and I'll never forget, and we got our income up, and we were making great money. I think we were making, close to, around $10,000 a month, and so it was really going well. And it was good. So I quit my job at TWA, which was an airline. And at that time, the airline industry, I had a great job. I was making $20 an hour. I was making, with overtime, probably $45,000 to $50,000 a year. 1993, that was great money. Okay. But it was, when I say great money, it was enough money to pay the bills and, go to the lake. And so, but I never forget that I quit my job. And I never forget Joe's grandpa, or Pam's grandpa, Joe. I'll never forget going over, I quit my job. I think it was July 4th or something. We're at a picnic, and Joe was there, and he's like, Brad, you quit your job at TWA. And I'm like, yeah, Joe, I did. And I always was afraid to talk to Joe because he was very opinionated. He was a union guy. He'd worked at the railroad for 40 years, and you know what I mean? Just an incredible worker. And he's like, Brad, I don't know what you're thinking. Walking away. You have a family, Brad. You have a family. You have a family, and you have 2 kids. What are you doing? I was like, Joe, we're doing great. It's going, Joe. It's like, he's like, Brad, who's going to pay your insurance? I'm like, Joe, I'm making $10,000 a month, and I can pay my own insurance, and I can do it, Joe. I'm working hard. And he's like, well, Brad, I'm just going to tell you, I pray for you every night. And I go, Joe, keep doing it because it's working. And I'll never forget that. And it stopped him in his tracks. I'll never forget that. And the motivation came in me, because at that time I probably was just maybe, I don't know, probably in today's terms, 2.5 yet maybe. I was so motivated to get to the president's team. So I thank Joe every day of my life for him talking to me like that. It just put a drive in me that I'm going to the president's team. It just put such a drive in me, and I'll never forget that. So what is it in you? What is it in you? What will get you up early, make you stay up late? What will get you doing things? See, Motivational Monday is great, but I'm telling you, it's going to take a lot more than Monday. I'm going to tell you that right now. A lot more on Monday to make this thing happen for you. And even, I don't care where you're at in this business. Like you said, like, I'm 15K, and, we're on our third cut of 20K this month. And so it's like, I mean, Jason texted me last night. He said, how's it going? Third cut is great. But I said, I'm thinking 30K. And he goes, that's the mindset. It's like the killer, the lion. I'm thinking, Jim Rohn said, think winter and summer, and think summer and winter. And so gotta be thinking. It's just incredible. Okay. I don't even know what point I'm on. I think on number 2. Okay, number 2. Remember desire? That's what the Napoleon Hill quote. Okay, number 2. This is important. Your eyes can only see and your ears can only hear what your brain is looking for. This is why motivation is so important. This is actually a quote by Dan Sullivan, which I love. And I love Dan Sullivan. You ever follow him? The guy's brilliant. He said, your eyes can only see and your ears can only hear what your brain is looking for. Do you understand your brain, guys? Your brain is not your brain. You're thinking of that picture of that brain, right? That's your switching station. Your brain is your whole body. Okay, brain's in every cell of your body, right? And so what you can, like I said, you have to be motivated, and you have to be, and what you think about and what you want and what you image, okay? And this is what motivates you. Just like the image that Usain Bolt, he saw, I am going to run that, and he imaged 9.7, and I'm going to run that 100 meters. I'm that guy, and he imaged him being behind him, and so he said, I just would train until I would puke with that image in my head. Your eyes can only see what the brain can see. You don't see with your eyes, guys. You see through your eyes. Your eyes is an eyeball. You don't see with your eyes. You see through your eyes. Your brain, it's just what this inside of you, that's what you're seeing. I always talk about people, they say, oh, I can't recruit and I can't retail. And I'll go to their club. And it's very simple, guys, because they don't see. I can be in a club and maybe they're doing fantastic in retail, but they can't recruit. And you can walk in their club and you know what they always see? Somebody can walk in the door and say, you know what? I can't even believe I just got laid off and I'm so stressed out. And they go, oh, you need relax now. They can only see the retail in that. I see the recruiting in that. You need a business. They don't even talk to the guy about recruiting. They talked about relax now, and we're going to get you on this and this new relaxation tea, which by the way is fantastic. They don't see he said he got laid off. They have no motivation for that. I see it all the time. I can stand in a club for 15 minutes and see, and by the way, okay, if he walked in the door, they said, I just can't get my retail going on, Brad. I'm going to be recruiting. Well, he sees the same thing. I says, I'm laid off and I'm stressed out. He only hears laid off. He doesn't hear relaxation tea. He could sell 3 or 4 or 5 products like that. He can't see. He can't see. I'm motivated. See, that's what's so very, very, very important, right? You see, it's okay. It's like whatever you think, right? I talked about a book I was talking to you guys. I was reading on LDW. It Takes What It Takes by Trevor Moawad. Okay, and he tells this great story. In fact, I'll just read it to you here. But it tells this great story about this guy. I'll read it. I'll tell you the story. Let me just want to make sure I get the story right here. But about what you think and who you are. Okay, he talks about. This Trevor who wrote the book, right? He said he was at a training, okay, and he was so he was at this training, and he saw this guy speak on stage, okay, and he said this guy was a top magazine entrepreneur. He was one of the top CEOs of a magazine, just super successful. And he tells a story. He said, when I was a kid in high school, he goes, back in those days is when we took the SAT test, right? Back in the 80s, early 90s, you took an SAT test. Well, 1,600 points was, you're a genius if you got 1,600 points on the SAT. He said, so his mom wanted him to take the SAT test and everything. So he says okay, I'll take it, Mom. So he goes and takes the SAT test, and he knows he's probably going to get a 6 or 7, 800 on this SAT. He's not smart. He doesn't go to class. He's not paying attention in school. So he goes and takes the test. And then his mom and principal meet him in the principal's office about a week after he took the SAT, and they said, we need to talk to you. And they go in and they're like, hey, did you cheat on this SAT? We just want you to come clean with us. He got a 1,480 on his SAT. And they go, you had to cheat. And he's like, Mom, I promise you I didn't cheat. He goes, I tried. He goes, I'll admit it. I tried to cheat. I tried to get close to people, and I tried to cheat. I really did try to cheat. And he goes, but I couldn't. The way you set me up in the room, I couldn't cheat. So I just took it. And he's like, you got a 1,480. He's like, I did? And he goes, yeah. And he's like, oh my gosh. He goes, I remember walking out in that room, and I'm like, I'm smart. He didn't even know it. He goes, so he started thinking, he goes, well, I wonder what smart people do. Well, they probably go to class. They probably hang around smart people. So he started hanging around smart people. He started going to class, okay, applies, and he goes to an IB school. He goes to an IB school, and he becomes one of the top magazine entrepreneurs ran in the world. And 12 years later, he gets a letter, which is really weird. He says 12 years later, he received a letter from Princeton in New Jersey. He doesn't think much about it, so he opens it up. He said, the SAT board periodically reviews their test-taking procedures and policies. He, in this letter was told, he was one of 13 people who were sent the wrong SAT score. His actual score was 740. And he's like, I looked at that. See, people want to say, he said, it's the 1480 that changed my life. But acting like a 1480 changed my life. And what does an A1480 do? He goes to class. He pays attention. See, guys, what does a president's team member do? I tell my guys, act like a president's team member way before you're president's team member. Don't act like a world team member. You know, show up at the call on time. Show up at the STS early. Stay after the STS. Take care. Breakups. Do what a president's team member does already. I don't care what your SAT score says. Act like you're a 1480, and you'll be a 1480. One of the greatest stories, right, out of this book. It's just incredible when you look, okay, at what this thing is and what this thing is, okay? I'm going to cover one more point, and then I'm going to cover, okay, and okay? And so, as you guys probably know, I have more points here, but so, okay. Okay, without a sense of urgency, desire or motivation loses its power, okay? So without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. That's Jim Rohn. That's a Jim Rohn quote right there. See, without that sense of urgency. See, guys, a sense of urgency is now. In that book, Think and Grow Rich, I just told you, okay, go to chapter 8 in that book and read that 30 days in a row. If you have a problem with decision, he talks about decision is the opposite of procrastination. Decision is such an important part of, because see, guys, you got to make a decision right now. There's a sense of urgency right now. Herbalife's growing unbelievable. You saw the numbers that EB put out. Oh my goodness, what Herbalife is doing right now and what the growth is right now. See, you got to get it going. You got to go make it happen. See, you all have a superpower. I don't know what it is. One of my superpowers, guys, is reading and personal development, and that's my superpower, right? But it's not me just to go do my superpower and read. My job is to teach. My job is to relate, right? Remember, Superman, superpower is what? Flying. Remember, superpower, he could fly. But that wasn't his superpower. His superpower was changing lives. The superpower allowed him to change lives. That was his whole goal in life. The superpower pushed that. So it's like such an important thing when you guys look at what you're doing, what you got going on, what's happening, what's going on in life, okay, is like, what is your superpower? See, sense of urgency right now. If there's ever a time, this is Mark Hughes' quote, if there's ever a time to do Herbalife, it'd be now. I don't care when you say that, by the way, it's true. If there's ever, it's now, guys. What's your motivation? Okay? What is it making happen? What is it going? Okay? So guys, thanks a lot. Hopefully that was a little bit to get you fired up. I've got them all lathered up now, so I'm all fired up. I'm gonna go work. Okay, and guys, don't forget next week, one of my favorite people, Susan Peterson, huge mentor in my life. Worked several systems with Susan in the 90s and early 2000. And this lady is definitely, when she gets motivated, get out of her way. Okay, this lady will go. She's that lion. Okay, and she don't need to be tamed. Okay, but she's gonna be on next week. I think it's May 18th for Motivational Monday. You guys don't want to miss her. She's just been incredible, like I said, for all of us. So guys, don't miss next week.